What up, YouTube? It's your boy Banks, and we back in the building. You feel me? It's True Talks. You gonna say it? It's true. It's true. It's true. Can't say that. Cause True Talks. You feel me? You already know we here, back at it again, and let's get straight right into it. You already know. So, obviously, we're gonna talk about the first thing we're gonna talk about is definitely this we're gonna talk about this Giannis situation. You know what I mean? It's a bit late, obviously, but they lost in the first round, 4-1 to the Miami Heat, the eighth seed, which is atrocious. I don't care if Giannis only played 2 games. We're not gonna do that. Like, it's atrocious. And the reason why I'm gonna go into the context, because I give you that context. Let's go straight right into it, boy. And the context behind this is not the fact that if they just lost every game Giannis didn't play, and then when Giannis played, they lost and he's banged up, I get it. This is the 8th seed. Regardless, you're the number 1 seed. And then not on top of that, your team, the 1 seed, won without you in game 2 by a blowout fashion. So you got to look at it from that perspective that now when Giannis comes back, for them to go 0-2 and Giannis coming back, there has to be something to be said about that, especially when the team went 1-0 without him or 1-1 without him. Their only win came without him. Does that mean the team is better without him? No. But does that mean you see Mans do more without him? Yes. And that's what I've been said. They're playing a specific way when Giannis is there. That does not work really versus the Heat, because if you lock in, the Heat have been upsetting the Bucks time and time again. You know what I'm saying? Other than 2021, the Bucks have had the same result, upset by somebody. Whether it's second round, whether it's first round, whether it's conference finals, like they literally lost to a team they're not supposed to lose to. Only time they went all the way was when KD's foot was on the line, and that team was injured with 2 mans, Kyrie and Harden injured. Harden couldn't even move, and he was playing, so that's a liability basically. So you look at it from that perspective. You know what I mean? If you look at it from that perspective, that's just horrendous. Like you gotta see the tea leaves. You gotta see what's really happening behind. Like you can't. That's why I said that Bucks championship is unfortunate to say it, but I think it was an anomaly. I think if KD's foot wasn't on the line in that team, especially if Kyrie wasn't even injured, it wouldn't have been a discussion. That's what I won the ring. Then on top of that second round, Hawks get injured, and people are talking about Bucks got injured. But every time, or Giannis got injured, every time Giannis gets injured, his team wins. Because Brook Lopez now could go to the post. Mans could do more. Drew Holiday could dribble more. Middleton could do more. Every man does more. Pat Connaughton, like the list goes on, right? So they sacrifice their game to play with Giannis, because that's the play style that enables Giannis, where Giannis is only elite in that play style. You get what I'm saying? So, like, they sacrifice their game and adjust for him. You get what I'm saying? So when you look at it from that perspective, when the Bucks lose Giannis, it's not hella terrible like other teams when they lose their superstar. Yes, it's going to be harder to win because that play style with Giannis at its max is beautiful in terms of it gets the job done. They're always going to be number 1 seed, et cetera, et cetera. But in playoff basketball, that shit has shown that it doesn't work when it matters. So the fact that they don't have Giannis and they go to the post with Brook Lopez, they go to more skilled men are doing more, that does work. It showed. How could you win one without Giannis and lose both with him? Coming when he's healthy. Like, that just exposes what I'm saying, that play style with Giannis, that shit doesn't work. Because they just run downhill, Giannis, and then when it's fourth quarter and it's time to get a buck, which both games was, you see on the other side is Jimmy Butler. I'm a cut her. I'm cut from that cloth, boy. Jimmy Butler turning up, taking over, going into that superstar all-time mode. While Giannis, his palms are sweaty, he doesn't even want the ball. Passes it, it goes out of bounds. Middleton has to save it. Like, you don't even want the ball, missing free throws. Like, and it's not a knock against Giannis. Giannis, you just have to rate everybody accordingly. Jimmy Butler, to me, when it matters, not to me, when it matters, he's better than Giannis. That's who I want on my team. Giannis, I told y'all, like, don't let that one championship, obviously, when it mattered in the finals, he did cook Ayton and he did go to work. But when you defend what he wants to do and make it difficult, can he adjust? Can he go to something else? No, he has no adjustable game. He only goes to work when that one style is allowed to be free. But when you cut that off, which most teams do in the playoffs, Phoenix didn't. Sometimes other teams don't, but for the most part, you're going to run into a team that's going to run the wall or cut it off or do something. Can you adjust? Can you do a pull-up? Can you do other things? And no, that's been the lack. That's been the lack of ability, the lack of, skill set, and that's where failure happens more than not. And now we're going to talk into, before we get into that failure conversation, that Jimmy Butler, yo. Jimmy Butler, is he Himothy? Yes, he's Himothy. We have to rate Jimmy Butler accordingly. Like, we got to, first of all, I don't want to hear Giannis in the best player talk conversation anymore. Stop it. I like Giannis, though. But at the end of the day, y'all got to adjust your ratings. Y'all got to, stop this. This has been, don't let that one championship, the things go right. You know what I mean? It happens sometimes. But for the most part, it's the same thing, different weekend. Same thing, different playoffs. Maybe first, maybe second, maybe third, maybe, whatever round. But it's the same thing. Same case scenario. Just different time. Y'all got to see it. So when you see man's like, you can't, stats and and they're the best player. Nah, we're not doing that. My brain works. Jimmy Butler should be in the conversation of best player because he turns up. He overachieves with his team. 8 seed beaten, regardless of what happened. 8 seed beaten the number 1 seed. Come on now. Y'all weren't the number 1 seed just because of Giannis. Don't do that. Jimmy Butler over. He he goes to a level that a lot of people don't go to. Only a small few go to. Where he shows his ability. He's not even the most skilled guy in terms of Jimmy Butler. But when it's time, he finds a bag. He dives into a bag because that's what's required in that moment. I have to do reverse pivot. I have to do up and unders. I have to do step backs. I have to do what's required. Killing Drew Holiday. This is an elite defender. While down, going to his face and telling him, yo, stop this. Dog, diving into a bag that, talking smack to Drew Holiday. While down. Letting him know that, yo, I do this. You know that I do this. Telling him that bucket's on you because he left, that he didn't switch or he miscommunicated or whatever, allowed him to cut or slip or whatever, and then Lopez had to foul him, and he said, that's on you because you allowed that. Letting him know that you can't get away with that's because of you. Don't complain to nobody, that's you. And pointed at him. Letting him know. Then the half spin on his beam, looking at him with the eye, this is an all-time defender. You know what I'm saying? Not only are you cooking him, you're letting him know about it, and then Drew's response, he's not talking smack to you. He's not, because he knows you're him. And then you get the dub while you was down and you turned up, force overtime leaning, every bucket, every stop, everything that he does everything, yo. He just does everything, and that uplifts his team, and then his team, obviously, because they're dogs too. That's the thing with Jimmy. That's why he went to Miami. He went there because he knows they're dogs. Everybody from the role player to whoever, they're all dogs. Vincent, everybody. Vincent hit that big 3. They're all dogs. But the level of dog they're going to only show is going to be here, and Jimmy has to tap in to take over. And Jimmy knows at the end of the day, I'm going to take over. Regular season shit don't matter to me, similar to Kawhi. Regular season shit don't matter. When it's time, though, I'm here. I put buckets on a platter. There's a ladder to the difference in levels of who's elites. You get what I'm saying? So when you look at it from that perspective, I'm happy when I see Jimmy go to work like that, and it shows people, especially when they're underdogs, killing the AFC beating the 1 seed. This is multiple. I think it's the 3rd time they beat the Bucks. I don't even know. Only one time the 2021 they lost because remember game 1, what happened? If Drew Holiday did, if Middleton didn't hit that game winner, probably would have been the same story in terms of an upset. They got over the hump because that game winner. Then I think they waxed them the rest. Because now they were confident, that monkey off their back. But other than that, the Heat been waxing the Bucks. They know how to guard that Giannis downhill. They know how to guard that shit. Pad that and then make the shooters have to create, and they're not used to it. But then when they're used to it, when Giannis is out, they go to work. They beat the same Heat team. So that's where I look at it. That's why in this situation, I don't bring the injury. Other situations, I might bring the injury. You know what I mean? Because if you're rolling and then now something happens and now everything changes, I see in that sample size losing and winning in the same series. But when I just see no wins from when you're there and then wins when you're not there, that changes the conversation now. Now we can't bring up the injury. It looks different. That's the context of this situation. Yes, he's injured, but it looks different. The team plays different. especially when they won without you. We can't use you injured as an excuse. In fact, some people could say you being injured, they might have won one of those games without you, since they won without you. You know what I'm saying? So it's a different perspective now. I still think they're obviously their best version with Giannis. Giannis needs to adjust sometimes. Maybe put him at the 5 and let other man's create and let him just be screened instead of giving him the rock. Just adjust the play style because you know it's going to get padded. So stop running that. That's going to work for 3 quarters. And all of a sudden, 4th quarter, now everything's helter-skelter. You got to change shit. He's not going to want the ball. People aren't used to that. Throw in a steady diet of changing. So when they need to go to that, they're used to it. They have rhythm to do that when Giannis is now not going to be going to work and it's going to be other mans. They don't do that. So that's my problem is how things operate. You could always do both. You could do multiple things. You don't have to do one way fits all, one shoe fits all. Read the defense and okay, if Giannis is killing right now, they're not breaking it. Now, once they adjust to that, let's switch it up. Let's do this. Let's do that. Now, they're going to have to break out of that. They can't do that scheme no more. Then now Giannis goes back down. Like, you could change. This is what I'm talking about. Like, you could use read the defense. All that's for me in hoop. All it is read the defense. When you have IQ and you have multiple people on the court with IQ that can just read the defense, you're going to get to a point where you're unguardable because you can counter it or counter it or counter it. And when there's a point where they can't, there's nothing they can't do and they know it and they're demoralized, and that's when you have them in the bag. Because when you counter everything, okay, they trap this guy, but it's not, but the corner guy is shooting. Okay, we can't trap him no more. Now he goes to work one-on-one. Okay, we can't do that no more. We're going to try to we're trying to blitz him randomly. But then that works. The other man they rotate perfectly, hit the corner. He's hitting the shots. Now they're going to have to pick poison. And when you counter everything, okay, you know what? Let's just play the drop. Now he kills him in the drop. Okay, we're not going to play the drop. We're going to switch. Now he kills the big man. Oh, damn, we can't switch. We're going to fight through. Now he hits the roller for the alley. Like, when you counter everything, oh, they're not switching right now. Okay, let's run the shooter now off the screen. They're not switching. He's going to kill off the screen, shoot. Now, they get to a point where they do something they know they're just going to have to do their best, but they know we're getting out. You know what I mean? It's a chess match. We're getting outclassed right now. There's nothing we can do. And when the team knows that, not only the team knows that, the defender knows that, and not only the defender, when the coach knows that. And then when the team knows that the coach knows that, and they all know that together, collectively, it's a wrap. It's a deer in headlights. And that's the difference. That's scouting can't do that. I mean, scouting can do that, but it's just IQ. You have to hoop to know or be involved or like be just a high IQ reader of the game or whatever the case is, just to understand these things. Like, there's not the stats will never tell you this. So that's why a lot of fans, they miss these details. And I'm here to highlight that. It's true talks, because true talks, you feel me? Again, never mention Giannis in the best player conversation again, yo. Please. Stop it. It's not a knock against Giannis. And then now, to end it off, we're going to talk about that failure shit. When he speaking to the reporter, I do believe that it is a different perspective. I do believe it's a different perspective. I do believe that when it comes to being a different perspective, I do understand that, nothing is a failure because there's success with whatever you thought that was fail. It still builds to your success. Without that fail, you don't get there. And that's rightfully so. That's in the grand scheme of life and the full circle. And when you get there, every stepping stone means something. So it's not a failure, especially when you bounce back and it's part of the story. And that's how you got here. Everything it's meant to be, is inevitable. This is the road. You know what I mean? You learn from your mistakes. Everything's full circle. And it just connective. It's a connective tissue or a connective chain reaction. Everything goes hand in hand. When you look at it from that perspective, Giannis is right. But in the moment, two things could be true. You could still be a failure in this season because if your objective is to win a ring and you're the 1 seed, there's still a failure in that, which is why I was agreeing with Shaq. You can't, I know man's is in their feelings and you just lost and whatever, but if your goal was to do that and you didn't get it, that was a fail. Does that mean he's calling you, Giannis, a failure? No. But this year, that's what he said. This year, is that a failure? Is this season a failure? Yes, for the most part, it is because you didn't get the job done. Does that mean it might not lead and help next season's success and is part of it? It doesn't not. Two things could be true. If you isolate it, though, for this year, go back. You wanted to win a ring. You didn't expect to lose to the 8 seed. It's like, let's stop it. You wanted to win a ring. You know you're the 1 seed. You've been in the top 3 conversation. You're in the MVP conversation. Everybody knows coming out the East is probably going to be either Sixers, Boston, or Philly. That's what the talk was. Top 3 seeds. What are we really talking about? If you failed in the first round, you didn't even get to conference. You didn't even get to second round. That's a failure regardless. We know that. And that's why he's asking you that. But you're getting frustrated because, again, it's high emotion stuff that, you know what I mean? So I get it. I did like, I don't want to make it personal and all that type of stuff. He calmed himself down, which is high. You have to have high type of poise and character to do what he did and not bash the guy. And we've seen how it went the other way. You know what I'm saying? He was more aggressive and he was more passionate and stuff like that, which I'm not mad at that. For you to be aggressive, especially with the emotions high, like certain things, I'm not a person that focuses on the tone because I've hooped. I've had mans holler at me and flex at me and I do the same back. Like I've had that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not the type to be like, yo, who you talking to, fam? No, I listen to what you're saying because sometimes there's hostile environments where they have to yell at you because if they don't yell at you, you can't even hear what mans is saying. The crowd is that reckless. Like, mans have been in that environment. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, tone of voice don't really matter to me ever. I listen to the words. You know what I'm saying? Even when a man goes, yo, get the rebound, man. Like, if I messed up a crucial rebound, I can't be mad at his high emotion, mad that I didn't get the rebound in that moment when I made a mistake. I'll be like, before he even says, I'll be like, yo, my fault. Damn, I even be cheesed on myself. I feel you, my fault, won't happen again. And I be the best player on the team and my reaction be like that. Now, there is times where 1-2 mistakes, the game, you know what I mean? And the like 12th man on the bench tries to, yo, what are you doing? Like, don't speak to me like that, fam. Like, who is you? You get those too. But for the most part, if you're even a solid role player, or even if you're a solid guy, even if you're not a role player, but we're in that intense moment and I let you get it off. Now, if you go past that and keep going, now we're going to have to humble you. You know what I'm saying? That's a different discussion. But for the most part, you know what I mean? Like, it's the same thing with KD. He's elite. And he let Draymond yell at him sometimes. Because he knows I made a mistake. Yo, what are you doing? Yo, get a buck, fam. What are you doing? Come on. You need that sometimes. And you know that's his character and you know it's the heat of the moment. Get it off. Let me listen to what you're saying, though. But the time he didn't rock with it was when KD slapped at him. What are you doing? Draymond in that situation when he made a mistake is not supposed to be in his feelings. And he's supposed to let KD get that off because he made a mistake in the turnover. They went to OT. Let him get that off. Man's let you get it off. When you're right, let him get it off. He's right. Don't be in your feelings. Draymond was in his feelings. Who you yelling at? You just came here and da-da-da-da, and then all the rails. You know what happened for that Clippers game. That's why I said Draymond was in the wrong. Because in that moment, KD been getting game winners. KD's clapping for it, and he clapped for it, and you ignored him when you should have gave it to him. But we do know, seeing that you went and you made a mistake. You've done that before. Dribble, get Clay one. Like, that same play you've done or downhill and fast break, it worked. So we can get that perspective. The fact that you ignored him, we get it. But make sure it's made. Make sure it's made. Nothing wrong happened. Or make sure at least you get a good shot off. But the fact you got a turnover from you, at that point, KD has to get his shit off because he feels in that moment, give me the rock. And when it doesn't work out, he's going to be cheese. Let him get it off because he didn't work out. He feels that he's right. And he is right because it didn't. You made a mistake. You let him get it off. Now, if he keeps going, you let him get it off. He's not going to keep going. Let him get it off, clap. Even Clay was like, yo, Draymond, what the fuck you doing, man? Like, other man said it too, but you focused on KD, and that's a different discussion. You let him get it off, and when he gets to the huddle, now, if he's still yelling at you, then you be like, yo, relax, I got you, I heard you. You give him that one test, and then if the temperature don't change and he's still going off, now you could go off. But, you know what I mean? If you made a mistake, you have to allow mans that grace to say what they got to say in the heat of the moment. It might look demonstrative. It might look bad. Whatever the case is. You made a mistake. You're not in the position to tell mans anything. At least the first part of getting it off should happen. Now, if they go too far, they do second, they keep going. 5 minutes in, they're still going. Then now you can interject. But there should be a period. If you made a mistake, that's just my logic. If I made a mistake, severe mistake, in the highest moment in the clutch or whatever the case is, I let you get it off. Whether it's the coach, whoever, like, you want to holler at me and cuss me and even, Like, even if it's the monster, don't matter. Like, if I made a big mistake, I have to wear that. I have to hug that L. I have to hug that. Don't matter if I'm best player or not. I have to hug that L. And I'm gonna make up for it. Don't worry, I got you. You right. My fault. Yeah, I heard you. Heard that. Mm-hmm. 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 All right, say less. You right. My fault. And even their demeanor will change and be like, all right, yo. So I say that just to say, like, Giannis in that moment is, I understand. You know what I'm saying? Him having that tone and like that passion because the energy is there. Like, you have to let him get it off how he gets it off because of what just happened, and that question triggered him. So I'm not mad. The fact that even in that get off moment he still had composure, like nothing was wrong from that angle from Giannis. Like, I'm glad the way he handled that. But in what he's saying, there's a level of understanding you have to understand in this moment. For you to even respond like that, that means, like, you know that you're unhappy and it's a failure in this. Like, you know that. You know that. Come on now. I know you're trying to divert. You don't want the team to think like that and you're doing damage control. We get it. But you have to acknowledge what he's saying. Yes, it's a failure right now in this moment. Yes. But that's in hindsight, and then explain your perspective. Two things could be true. For this particular moment and season, yes, it's a failure. Yes, you're right. But does that mean our team is a failure? Does that mean I'm a failure? No, because you could go through that. So that's just my perspective on that. I didn't want to make this video too long, but that's what transpired. I'm gonna do probably another video we gonna really talk about Jimmy Butler, and like, we have to adjust his ratings because this is getting out of hand. He's an all-time playoff performer. Like, when I mean all-time, for him to have the most points in Heat history with Bron being there, the GOAT, and other man's being there and he has it, we have to talk about some things. We're going to talk. I don't want to make this video too long because it's about the Giannis situation and Butler a little bit. Well, a lot, but Butler deserves his own video. He deserves his own video. So we're going to get into that whenever time is due. But, it's true talks. It's true talks. Share, like, and subscribe. We out here. There's no doubt here. There's no drought here. You feel me? I appreciate y'all. You already know. Spread the word. Click that notification button so you know when I'm here. Because I'm here. You feel me? I appreciate y'all. You already know. And I'm out, man.